Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about Colin Kaepernick. This famous former football player has become more famous than ever because of his political antics following his declining career. You see, back in around 2014, 2015, Colin Kaepernick was put on the bench by his team because he's not that good of a quarterback. He's not that good at the sport. He doesn't really play well. He doesn't throw well. He just kind of got lucky and got into the top spot because the previous quarterback was injured for a while, but once his team brought in a better QB, they put him back on the bench, and this resulted in Colin acting out and lashing out, and it resulted in him becoming this SJW-filled, very biased monster that he's become today. You see, Colin Kaepernick has become rather woke. He's been getting more and more SJWs inspired ever since this moment. You see, once he started losing clout and recognition, he started kneeling for the national anthem. That's right. He's the one that started this whole kneeling trend, and that turned into him kind of bashing white people, saying everyone's racist, complaining about things that happened 150 years ago. He attacked the police too. He thinks that cops are all biased and terrible, and it's just a really, really bad road that he's gone down. Now he complains and says, oh, the NFL won't hire him because the NFL is racist, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's tons of black people in the NFL. In addition, Colin Kaepernick is, of course, half white. He's also raised by an entirely white, rich, affluent family who gave him everything he could have ever wanted. I mean, this guy is spoiled. He's never had to suffer or go through any hardships in his life. He went straight from playing football in high school to playing in college and then in the pros. Like, this guy has had a pampered, sheltered life. And that's why his woke activism has gotten more and more infuriating and frustrating. It's progressed over the years into lots of other things. Like, for example, last year, Nike picked up Colin Kaepernick. Nike typically sponsors athletes, but it's usually when they're professional and like playing in the sport currently, or if they were like really, really famous in their day and they retired, they could do a Nike commercial. But them hiring this failed footballer who can't even hack it in the pros is kind of weird. And it was obviously done for all these woke political reasons. It's because he was this woke symbol and Nike wanted to get woke, so they made this commercial with him. They did it all in black and white, like trying to pretend they're in some kind of civil rights era demonstration or protest. Kaepernick has his big afro now. He wears like a leather jacket. He does like Black Power symbols and stuff like that. It's really cringe. It's really ridiculous. And it seems like this is only the beginning of Colin Kaepernick's kind of woke career, because now, in addition, we have a new announcement. What we're talking about today is Colin Kaepernick has been hired by Disney. That's right. Disney has signed a deal to work on a documentary with Colin Kaepernick, some kind of TV documentary series. I'm not sure the details. We'll read more in a minute, but right out the gate, this is totally ridiculous. I mean, Colin Kaepernick is a failed football player. What kind of documentary do you think he's going to make? Like, obviously, it's going to be some kind of like revisionist history, like, oh, white people are so racist, look at these pictures from 100, 200 years ago. It's going to be some real woke crap, like levels of like wokeness we haven't even imagined before. So this is already a very, very bad sign. And it's also hypocritical coming from Disney. I mean, Disney doesn't have the best track record themselves. I'm not one to point this stuff out on my own, but since they're trying to act all woke now, it is rather funny because Disney is the same company who did this, of course. This Data Racer tweet points out some good kind of inconsistencies, and they're talking about how Disney signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Colin to produce social justice content for TV. Absolutely insane, like social justice content. That stuff, first of all, it's dumb, bad. No one wants to watch it, and it doesn't make money. This is just woke, left-wing stuff. And the next point really drives the nail on the head. It says, a Disney that erased John Boyega from movie posters and runs toy sweatshops paying workers $1 an hour, housing 8 to a room with no hot water. SJWs are lying grifters. So yeah, I think a lot of this is coming from Disney's feeling guilty, like they've done bad things in the past, not even that long ago. I mean, this is an example. This picture is from the Force Awakens poster. This came out about 5 years ago. And you can see on the left is the America poster, on the right is the Chinese poster from China. And they remove this character, John Boyega. He actually gets moved down to here. You can barely see him. But the point is, Chinese people are kind of racist. They don't like minorities, especially black people. That's why they ban them from restaurants and stuff like that. It's really crazy. And this is also why Disney is pandering to them. They're like trying to make this poster more Chinese friendly, which basically means removing a black character, removing John Boyega. And then now a few years later, and they're trying to act like they're woke and they're supporting Colin Kaepernick. I mean, it just doesn't add up. And then there's also this terrifying line, like they said, these guys run toy sweatshops in these other third world countries, these bad places to work, China, India, stuff like that, Far East places. And they're paying their workers like $1 an hour. They're living in these terrible rooms, and they want to act like they're for social justice. Like, oh, they want to act like, oh, we're saving the world. We're for equality and being fair. It's like, no, you're just trying to attack America, and you're trying to be racist towards white people because you think that'll take the blame off of you. They want to be woke. They want a virtue signal. They're throwing money at Colin Kaepernick, and I think it's really going to come to bite them in the butt. They're going to realize that this guy is just a total sinkhole. He's got nothing going on for him. And, you know, he's just a scam artist. He's scamming everyone. He's just trying to pretend he's some kind of victim when he's not. I mean, he's barely even, I mean, doesn't even look black to me. He's like a quarter black or something. And his parents left him, and he was raised by white people. He's half mostly white. He grows this big afro to try and look more black. It's just typical behavior from these terrible people that are actually troubled. Like, they're confused. Like, this guy has issues with himself and who he is. Like, he hates a big part of himself, and that's strange. That's a hard way to live, I'll admit, but it's also hard to sympathize with him when he's so damn, just so gosh darn angry and evil and just terrible. Colin Kaepernick is now in business with Disney. The Mouse House just signed the QB to an overall first look deal, and there's already a docuseries in the works. Disney says the docuseries will feature extensive new interviews and vast, never-before-seen archive that documents his last 5 years. Kaepernick will tell his story from his perspective, and get this, Jamel Hill, who used to work for ESPN, will be involved in the project as well. This is another very racist, anti-white person, and also, surprise, surprise, this is another chick who is kind of like mixed, like barely even black. I'm not really sure. Here's Jamel Hill. She's got these like bright green eyes. She hates white people too, and that's why she got fired. Anyway, back to the Colin story. Like, who cares what he's been going and doing for the last 5 years? Like, he hasn't been playing football. He hasn't been doing anything worthwhile. Like, all he's been doing is this woke activist stuff. He's been talking trash about white people, bashing America. He just tweeted some crap about hating on our country on the 4th of July, like hating on us on our birthday, which is really messed up. So yeah, who cares what he's been doing in the last 5 years? As for the overall deal, Disney says the partnership will focus on telling scripted and unscripted stories that explore race, social injustice, and the quest for equity, and will provide a new platform to showcase the work of black and brown directors and producers. Kaepernick issued a statement saying, "I'm excited to announce this historic partnership with Disney across all of its platforms to elevate black and brown directors, creators, storytellers, and producers, and to inspire the youth with compelling and authentic perspectives." So a lot of talk about black and brown directors. They want to get those people more jobs, obviously, which in turn means, you know, no jobs for white people. You can't have white people in this company. You can't, you know, talk to white people. You can't be positive about us at all. This is just straight up biasness, and it's being promoted. It's being promoted by Disney. TMZ seems to be on board with this. Like, all the major outlets are with it, and it just goes to show like how biased this world has become. It's very anti-white kind of message, and they're all about propping up these black and brown people. And it's just kind of like, to me, it's just like an affirmative action thing. It's just them trying to get more positions for minorities over whites. And that means, you know, you're not hiring people based on their talent. You're hiring people based on their skin color. And that's just not the way, not the world I want to live in. I don't think Martin Luther King Jr. would have appreciated that. Like, he talked about judging people on the content or their character, or in this case, on the quality of their performance or their work. But that's out the window now. The leftists have kind of flipped the script and gone from being not about race and having everyone be equal to being everything about race. Like, everything's about this now. You have to focus on race. Otherwise, you're not doing it right, according to them. And I think it's just terrible and needs to stop. I look forward to sharing the docu-series on my life story in addition to many other cultural impactful projects we are developing. Disney says the Kaepernick projects will be featured on several platforms, including Walt Disney Television, ESPN, Hulu, Pixar, and The Undefeated. So lots of coverage there, a lot of talk about Colin Kaepernick's story. I'm not sure like any of us really care. Like, it's not like the guy's playing football. Like, he's not achieving anything interesting. Like, he's just a failed football player who got woke to get attention. He's pretending to be important in this woke activist now, but he's not. I mean, he's promoting bad ideas. He's talking about racism. He's talking about deciding things based on people's skin color. And he's basically going against everything that, you know, our country was founded on, that a lot of his previous people's leaders, like we said, MLK was not for this. Neither was people like Malcolm X, even. Like, they hated the liberal party and knew that they were using black people. But Colin Kaepernick is their boy. Like, he's on board with the liberals. He's basically a figurehead for these Democrats. And a lot of this BLM stuff is part of him too. Like, he's promoting just bad stuff, and Disney is on board with it, even though it's highly hypocritical for them to be. You know, like we said, they have sweatshops. They remove black people from posters. They've done all kinds of crazy stuff, all kinds of things. So maybe they're trying to atone for that, but this isn't the way to do it. Like, becoming more racist against white people isn't the way to fix this supposed like anti-black, anti-brown racism. Like they claim there's a lot of racism out there. They're not proving it. They're not showing any evidence for it, but it's supposedly out there. And obviously their solution is to be more racist. And I think that's really the most messed up part. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also hit that like button to get this thing shared. And until next time, have a great day. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about our new second channel. NoBS News has been really ramping up recently. We've got over 10,000 subscribers now, and it's growing each and every day. This is a new extra channel where I can give you guys more content, which includes extra videos, sometimes streams, sometimes other fun things too, clip shows, whatever you like. NoBS News is going to have it there for you. So make sure you check it out by either searching NoBS News on YouTube or clicking the link below this video. Thanks for your time. Have a good one.